Hey guys and gals, what's going on? Me Son here, and today I'm not quite doing a movie review, but I'm going to be talking about Broadcast News. Great film. I actually saw it for the first time. Written and directed by James Earl Brooks. You might know him from that film, Terms of Endearment. As Good as It Gets. Both with Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson is in this one for a small role, and Spanglish in that he did one shitty movie called How Do You Know It? And also one of the developers of The Simpsons, yes, and Taxi, the TV show with Dan DeVito and Tony Danza and Andy Kaufman. So anyway, this film stars William Hurt, Albert Brooks, and Holly Hunter. And what I thought was interesting about this film was, and it makes sense why it was so critically acclaimed. I believe it got nominated for, let me see, 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actress, Best Supporting Actor, Best Original Screenplay, Best Film Editing, and Best Cinematography. And it's on number 64 in AFI's 100 Years, 100 Last. This is nominated for 100 movies, and it was nominated for 100 quotes. It was also nominated for 100 Movies 10th Anniversary Edition. So, yeah, obviously, people really recognize the movie. Roger Ebert gave it 4 stars, calling it for being knowledgeable about the TV news gathering process as any movie has ever been made. But it also has insights into the more personal matter of how people use high-pressure jobs as a way of avoiding time alone with themselves. Deep shit. Rest in peace, Mr. Roger Ebert. So, why am I talking about this film? I want to bring up I guess it's the story of the movie. It's not really a plot-driven movie, but the story of the movie, I felt, was some of the realest shit I've seen in a movie as far as men and women and relationships and going up on the job-wise is concerned. So you got these three characters. William Hurt plays this guy named Tom, who's nice guy, nice-looking guy too, but kind of dumb, at the very least simple. Albert Brooks plays a guy named Aaron, who's an average-looking dude, nice enough guy, smart, and very talented and good at his job. Not as comfortable in front of the camera as William Hurt is. William Hurt's character, Tom, has this charisma about it. He's comfortable in front of the camera. And then there's Holly Hunter, who plays Jane, and she's the producer. She becomes the executive producer of the news show. So you can probably guess it's going to be kind of a love child, but not really though. Aaron and Jane are these two characters who have been friends for a long time. She's kind of basically friends with him. He's in love with her. That's kind of obvious. He wants to be with her, but she doesn't see him sexually that way. He's not really confident. He's kind of an insecure Jewish guy. That's the whole point of that character. And then Tom, he's insecure too, actually, in a sense. They're both insecure, but he has the looks. He has the charisma. And even though on paper she is what he would detest in a person, physically speaking, she can't help it. She can. I believe Roger Ebert talks about this in his review. She can't help it. And her mind is more attracted to Aaron by her body and her, I guess quite frankly her biological clock, says Tom. So I like this movie. This is one of the reasons why. And I'll go into more reasons later why I like this movie. But that was one of the reasons why I liked this movie, because it was realistic, that portrayal. It didn't and spoiler alert, this movie's 1987, so I mean yes, I did see it recently, but I'm sure you've had enough time to see it by now, unless you just were born like a few years ago. But no one gets, that's the funny thing with this movie, no one really gets anyone. The two guys both get married to different women, but she ends up alone, actually. So, what was I gonna say? Yeah, the thing about this movie is that, yeah, she doesn't end up with Aaron. She kind of wants to be with, Tom, and it makes sense. That's in real life. That's how it would be. Like, yeah, just because he's a smart, talented dude doesn't mean he's gonna end up with her, because that's what it's all about. A woman's not gonna care about your intelligence if you're going to be compared to someone who's an Adonis, like Brad Pitt. If you look like Brad Pitt, I'm not saying Brad Pitt's dumb, but if you look like him and you're dumb as shit, you're still quite frankly gonna get laid. Ashton Kutcher, I heard, is actually pretty intelligent, but say if he was like his character at all has Kelso on that '70s show. If he acted like that character, he'd still be. And Kelso got laid as shit. He'd get laid in real life too like that. He'd be fine because he looks like he's Ashton Kutcher. So that's one thing. Another thing was how the jobs worked in this movie. So Aaron's been a reporter for years. He's very good at his job. Very good at his job. And Tom has been like a sports reporter, but he didn't really know shit about anything. He's just really comfortable with the camera. He knows how to talk to camera. He sees it more as being like a salesman, where Tom sees it more as being a salesman, where Aaron just kind of sees it more as, it's his profession, it's his life's work. He takes it more like in an artistic sense. And Tom is like, nah, man, it's just being a salesman, selling them bullshit. And there's some shit in the movie that he does is actually pretty shady, but like I said, pretty realistic. This movie's pretty damn realistic. And, like I said, on paper, this is not what Jane would like, but, there's a reason why this character does it, and he says it at the end. It works. Because you look at it and, yeah, he's not the smartest dude, he's not the greatest reporter, but he can talk to a camera, he can engage an audience. People want to watch him and listen to him talk. So that's why they needed a reporter at the very last minute, not even a reporter, an anchorman at the very last minute. So, and instead of putting Aaron, who's been around for years, as the anchorman, they put Tom as the anchorman, and he kills it. But if it wasn't for James basically talking to his ear the whole entire time, and for it wasn't for Tom getting messages from Aaron as well, he would have been toast. He was just basically a puppet. He's a very good puppet. And that makes sense, because networks and company and corporations want good puppets that they can pull the strings on and make them do whatever they want. He was more than, basically this. Aaron was like serviceable. This guy had that it factor with him. He wasn't the smartest dude. He wasn't exactly great at his job, but he had that presence to where, like, if you had someone who was all over him, he could deliver, because he just had that it factor that Aaron didn't have. Which just shows you. I was talking to these guys on this site, and it's interesting. They were talking about, IQ and success. And before I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I've got my IQ tested. It's pretty high. But I used to think, before that, having a high IQ would not necessarily guarantee success, but it really meant something. But as you go along later in life, you realize it's not, having a high IQ really doesn't mean shit. Like, there are some dumb people. Like, look at some athletes. I remember I was watching this thing for NASCAR, and shit. They were asking some simple questions, like, what was the first question? It was like, how many states are in, not even how many states, what states? Because it's what states are in the New England area? It's 6. And only one driver was able to guess that correctly. And they asked other questions, like simple pop culture stuff, like, who were the guys in, what's that movie? Good Will Hunting. Who were the guys in that? Who's Tom Brady's wife? I remember one dude said to, the question, he answered it, I don't know, man, I didn't go to college. Really? Yeah, they just know their sport. There are people like that, and this guy, Tom, is worse than that, actually. He's pretty much a hack. He's not, at least some of these drivers are like, most of them are good at what they do. This guy is not good. But, like, it shows you having high intelligence doesn't necessarily guarantee you shit. And just because if you're like a dumb motherfucker, then that doesn't mean that you're gonna, fail in life. So you see a lot of these people who have these superiority complexes, thinking that, oh wow, like, oh, this is gonna suck. Once these thirsty manginas, idiots, motherfuckers are gonna keep breeding, it's gonna keep cycling, it's just gonna cycle through, more idiots are gonna get born, the world can destroy it. No, not really. Because, hell, some people think Donald Trump's an idiot, myself included. He's not even that good of a businessman, but he's pretty damn successful. Just because, and he's not the biggest idiot out there, but at the same time, I don't think he's the smartest dude either. So, it just makes me laugh, because, like, I've seen too many people who probably have low IQs be successful. It's probably part of it has to do with probably because they're like maybe they're not too self-aware. They don't have the burden of thought like we do. Like look at a guy like David Hasselhoff. He was pretty successful while he was alive, but he ended up killing himself. He thought too much. He was like burdened with his thoughts, and it made him a great writer. The way you haven't read it, read Infinite Jest. That book is pretty damn dense and long, but it's pretty damn amazing. The way this guy can explain our thoughts that go in our own heads is quite damn spectacular. I'll be quite honest. It's a great motherfucking book. But yeah, anyway, like that dude was burdened with his thoughts. But like a dude that's dumb, like he's not gonna be burdened. He's not gonna be as burdened at least with that, and maybe he'll be a little less self-conscious. Or if he's maybe like with this character, he was unconfident, but he was unconfident because I think he kind of knew he was a hack. Like so, he wasn't the dumbest dude either, but compared to Aaron, he was nowhere near as talented or as smart. But that didn't matter because they wanted him. They wanted him to be the anchorman. He started becoming the anchorman, started doing more interviews, and then they fast forward to the end. Spoiler alert again. He becomes the anchor of the nightly news. Yeah. So, and that shit happens. Like, look at the reporters on TV. The lead anchors. I mean, do they really honestly look that smart to you? There's one dude I think it was called Good Day New York. I used to watch The Soup with Joel McHale. And he would make fun of that dude all the time. This dude was some sort of idiot. I swear. I couldn't look. You look at the fucking Young Turks. They're fucking awful. They're especially not even. What's her name? Anna Kasparian's very attractive, but she's. I wouldn't even say. I think she's kind of dumb. I wouldn't even say she's that dumb. Shink, the fat ass motherfucker. He is a moron. But he's making probably a decent amount of money. I feel like I saw Anna Kasparian's network, and it was like $2 million. So there you fucking go. There you fucking go. It's a lot of it has to do with genetics, honestly, and yes, talent can win. Hopefully, talent can win, but talent is not the most important thing. You have people like Billy Joel who got there on talent. He's doing great. He's able to fuck models, even though he kind of looks like a troll. No offense. He makes great music, but in reality, broadcast news shows how it works. Like, despite Aaron being a talented dude, he's not great in front of a camera, though. If he was great in front of a camera and had that charisma, then maybe he'd stand a chance. But because he's missing that, and he's just worried about his talent and being smart, he's missing that all-important factor that kind of makes him sexy, that would make him sexy or attractive to women, to getting better opportunities at his job, and he's stuck being a reporter, even though he wants to be an anchorman. And he has to work in smaller cities, and he can't get the girl that he wants to get, and that leaves him, bitter. Which kind of sucks for him, because he's kind of on paper doing things right. But, he's not MGTOW. He wants to, be with a woman. He wants, and anyone, MGTOW or not, wants to go up, promotion-wise in their corporations, wherever they work, in their place of work. And he wants to be an anchorman, but he doesn't have that factor, and that costs him a lot, personally and professionally. But with this dude, not so much. He ends up he gets hot women with all the women in the office want, for crying out loud, one of the manager's daughters comes in for the first time ever because she sees him on TV and wants to meet him. What kind of that shit happens? What kind of shit is that? So there you have it. So I really like this movie a lot. It's a great film. I recommend watching it. It's very, very realistic. Very, very realistic. 1987. This is what I liked about James L. Brooks. He makes movies that are very realistic and very funny at the same time. Very intriguing, a little long, but you don't even feel long at it. So yeah, check this movie out. I give it 4 out of 4 stars. It's just insane how these types of movies kind of speak the truth. But it's way better than some of this bullshit we get with romantic comedies nowadays. So the romantic comedy drama film broadcast news. Thank you all for listening. So if you like this video, please click that like button. Click that subscribe button, please. Comment in the comments below. If you want to support us, hit us up on Patreon. And I'll see y'all again soon. Later days.